Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Mandi Guru Parampara Om Sagana Bhavatu Sagana Bhunattu Sagaviryan Karavavakai Tejasvinavadi Damastumavit Vishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tassate Om Sargasthiti Pralayakhetum Achinta Shaktim Visveshwaram Vidita Vishwamananda Murtim Nirmugdha Bandhanam Aparasuka Amburasim Sri Vallapam Imalapotakanam Namami Yasya Prasadat Ahameva Vishnugu Mayyeva Sarvam Parikalpitam Cha Ittam Vijanami Sadatma Rupam Tasyangri Patmam Pranadosmi Nityam. Good morning. So we have seen until the 41st verse of Vaakyavritti, where Bhagavan concluded the lakshyarta for TATTVAMSI and TATTVAMSI, thereby answering the first three questions of the disciple. What are the questions? Who is Jiva? Who is Paramatma? How they are one and the same? The first three questions he asked. So the Tvampada Vicharam answered, who is Jiva? From the verse 11 to 18, we saw that. The Tattvada Vicharam described the Paramatma, Ishvara. We took less time in the Ishvara definition because in Ishvara's case, we just have to go by what the Vedas say. How else I can tell you? I cannot tell you about God because what authority I have that you would say. So the Agama Pramanam, Shabda Pramanam or Veda Pramanam is what we take as the ultimate truth. Astitvam, the existence of anything is declared by that knowledge is called Veda. Those who believe in Veda are therefore called Astikas. Inevitably, it means if you want to have a Siddhantam, a proof, the ultimate Pramanam with which it should be validated is Shruti Pramanam. So Bhagavan therefore very trivially brought out the Veda Vakyas, especially the Vedanta Vakyas, Upanishad Vakyas, to show Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. We just have to accept it. But in the Tattvada Vicharam, so in Tvampada Vicharam, when we did before, we have to use Veda Pramanam. But it is about me, about you. You may think, what Veda knows about me? I know about me more. Is it not? That's the reason why, even though the Veda Pramanam is the underlying support for the arguments, we have to invent some tools to analyze who I really am. Tools like Drishya Vivekam. That is, whatever I see is not I am, because I am the seer. Whatever I touch is not I am, because I am the toucher. Whatever I experience, I'm not that experienced thing because I am the experiencer. Therefore, from the logical point of view, I can differentiate that I am not that. Then, of course, we saw the body is not me because what I was in 5 years old, 10 years old, 50 years old, I'm different now. But the body is hanging with me like my shirt is with me. Therefore, I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. Even I'm not the intellect. So, like that, we do the Panchakosa Vilakshanam. We did that. Then we went through experience point of view. I am talking to you, you are listening to me. Therefore, I exist, you exist. In a deep sleep, I don't see you. I don't exist, you don't exist. In the dream state, I exist alone, but I create my own world and I deal with this. That means, even if I go by my experience as the evidence of my existence, that gives me 3 different state of experiences: Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. That means the awakened state, dream state, and the deep sleep state. So when I analyze them as well, I am proven to be someone transcends all these 3. So that means we use many tools to identify that I am not what I am notionally think I am, but I am the Sat, Chit, and Anandam. Sat means that it is existence. Just take a cross check now. Any of you think that you don't exist now? No, you exist. No matter whether lights are there, whether somebody sees you or not, you exist, you know it. That is Sat. How do you know that you exist? Because I'm aware I exist. So the awareness is Chit. Sat Chit. That is Anandam. That you may disagree with me. Ananda, I am not happy. Now you have come to the a misapprehension of who you are. I am not well. I'm not happy. Why? Because my leg is paining. So you are not well because your leg is not well. So is it therefore you are the leg? Is it as good as saying, I am dirty because my shirt is dirty? Are you the shirt? No. So we get confused between I and my. This Viparita Jnanam makes you feel happiness is state of mind you become. Therefore you say, I am happy, I am not happy. Therefore the mind comes and tells you what you should be now, instead of your innate nature of Ananda. So granted that you and I will evidently have to agree that I am Sat, I am Chit, Anandam, I'm not very sure. But you are. So this is all we done. Then the 4th question the Sashi asked in the 8th sloka. What did he ask? I understand Tat, Tvam, and they say they are the same. But tell me, how does this maha vakya TATTVAMSI and alike are revealing this? You know, if you say that in the lunar object in the lunar space in moon, the south pole there is water, and if I make a statement like that, and if you'll say what is the proof for it, then I will say this is a logical proof, and this is what this science paper declares, then you say, how does this paper prove it? You still want to know the legitimacy of that sentence. That is what he is now going to explain in the next few slogas. This is nothing new coming there. It's just summarizing, reinforcing it. Let's see. Tattvamsi vakyam cha tadamcha pradipadane lakshyau tattvam padarthau tvabubhadaya pravartate. Tattvamsi vakyam cha tadamyam pradibadane. Tattvamsi adi vakyam. Adi means those onwards. Tattvamsi, etc. All these maha vakyas. Vakyam is maha vakyam here. In all these vakyas, tattvam padartha, lakshyau tattvam padartha. Tad tvam, the padartha, tau means dual. Not two. That means there's a tat is a word, tvam is a word, not tattvam itself. Tattvam is also a word by itself. But here, tat is a word, tvam is a word, padartha comes in. Therefore, we understand the two words. Tat padartha and tvam padartha. What is the tvam padartha? What is that? Lakshya. The lakshyartam. The lakshyartam alone, what does it say? Dvau badaya pravartate. For those two words, tat and tvam, it is giving you, what is it giving you? Tadamtya, tadatmyam pratibadena. What is tadatmya means? Identity. So he's basically repeating what he said. He says, all these mahavakyas, even though he took Tattvamsi as a mahavakya lakshya in this text, he now generalized it. This is how the Siddhantam should be. The great Siddhantam should be where you summarize it and bring a universal truth. You do a PhD and you say, this is what it is, and therefore this can be applied to many things. So he says, all these mahavakyas are thus giving the lakshyartam to explain what? Explain tadatnya pradibadena. Pradibadana. Tadatnya means identity. That means it is akantartham. It is abhedartham. It is aikyartham. It brings them together. Why it is not saying very straight away? Sometimes you can't know this straight away. Vaakyartham. See, Vaakyartham is what you should always look for the direct meaning. When I say, let's go to temple, then that means I'm asking you to go to temple. Let's go to temple. Straightforward. Imagine, say, Balaji told Lakshmi, we'll go to temple at 4 o'clock. And then he started writing his essay. He's busy with his computer. 3:30, 3:45. So Lakshmi goes to Balaji and say, it is 4 o'clock. And she goes away. Balaji listens to this. It is 4 o'clock. The Vaakyartham is what? It is 4 o'clock, or it's going to be 4 o'clock. Straightforward. But what does he take? He closes the computer, get dressed, because he knows that is an indication to the commitment. At 4 o'clock, I have to go to the temple. I must get ready. Can't just sit on the computer all the time. So that's a lakshyam of the sentence. Lakshyartham is therefore implied. Implied means it's indirectly derived. How can you derive it? I cannot derive it. Only these two can derive it because the context is between those two. Like Svetaketu and his guru was discussing, and guru says, Tattvamsi Svetaketu. That means He knows the context. That is this. So he does not look at the Vaakyartham, but he takes the lakshyarta. So hope this example clarified to you. So now the question is, how do we take it? So Bhashyakara is going to say, just remind us, now you understand this one. Now I tell you, remind you again, what is the lakshyartham for these two words. So, hit vadhav, shabalau vachya, vakyam vakyartha bodhane, yada pravartate asmabhi, tada vyakyad adharat. Hitva tvau shabalau vashya. Vakyam vakyartha bodhane. Yada pravartate. Let's check the yata. Yata means, what is it? Last mantra. Tat and tvam pata. Yatau, he said. So yata means those tat and tvam pata. What are they? They are tau shabalau vachya. Shabalau means, shabalam means shagunam, with a form, with a vishayam, with attributes. Tau shabalau vachya. Those words with attributes, that means which is defined by the nouns, verb, and the adjectives of the sentence as its attributes. Hitva. Hitva means normally hitting. Here it means dropping. Hitva. So hitva tau sabalo vachyo. By dropping the attributes of those words. What does it give you? Vakya artha bodhane. It gives me the meaning of the sentence, maha. Nothing complicated. It just repeats in a slightly different way to generalize it. For those words, you have to give up the attribute. Shabalau, shagunau. Shagunam means attributes. So right now, what the problem we have, all this grammatical construct is fine. I am the Jiva and Brahman is the Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara is same, you're saying. Impossible. I am 5'7" tall and he is Sarvavyabi. I am Alpa Buddhi, he is Sarvajnani. So how can it be same? It cannot be same because you are holding on to what? Shabala Vachya. These attributes as you think that is you. So Shaguna Brahma, don't take the Shaguna Brahma, don't take the Sanchakradari, Dandabani, Madhajasta, all that Swamis of that attributes don't compare with you as the same because you are comparing with infinite attributes of it. Kalyana Gunaha. Why not? Isn't it them? No. The reason is attribute because they are the attribute. Attribute means that is something superimposed, attributed. That is not real. So if you give up that vakyam, then the vakyartha bodhane, tatabi, only by that way. Adharat pravartade. Pravartade means adharati vakyadam pravartade. Pravartade means in a Bhagavachanam, we have instructed or we have taught. Bhagavan says, himself. We have taught. That means he is saying that it is being taught. But important is adharat. Adharat means very carefully. See, you cannot take these sentences in a very randomly, and just because you can speak well, you cannot start preaching it without you understanding it. Because you are now imparting the Parama Rahasya of Veda, which liberates anyone who realizes this at the kshanam of it. So if any misapprehension of it would not be a good thing to do. Therefore, you are very carefully analyzing it and giving the answers. So Bhagavan says, we have given you that. So what has he given us? Shabalo vacho hitva. Give up that one. So, okay. Now he is going to repeat. Therefore, now I repeat one more time. What is the lakshyartam of you and what is the lakshyartam of Ishvara? He says, Alambana dayabhati yosmat pratyaya shabdayoho andakarana sambinna bodha sattvam padapidaha alambana daya bhati asmat pratyaya saptayoha andakarana sambinna bodha sattvam padapidaha sattvam tvam bodha sa tvam pada apidaha. Sa is a third person singular, saha. Now he is talking about you, tvam. Tvam pada abhidaha. What is tvam pada abhidaha, the last sentence? When you say tvam, you, that padam, abhidaha, means that which comes out, that which shines. So now when the teacher says tvam, what you should understand? Aham. Is it not? He just says, if you say teacher says you come, you don't say you come again, because he means, you say you means I. Therefore you have an artham for it. So when the teacher says you, and think about you, what comes to you as you? What lights up as you? That is aham, I. Understand? We don't know what the I is, but it's the I. It's not the I dressed in a blue shirt or a white dhoti or whatever. You don't. It is I. Immediately you go and grab the identity that abhidaha, that shines as I. Yeah, abhadi. Abhadi means shines. That person, saha. For that, asmat pratyayat alambanadaya. Shabdayoho andakarana bodhaka sambinnaha. How do you take it? When you see a word, every word when I say, when you hear, or when you say, there's a sound. And the sound must have an object to represent it by the sound. Otherwise, it's just a mere noise. Is it not? If there is an artham, a shabdam must have an object, an alambanam. Alambanam is normally a support. Here it's an object. alampanataya asmat pratyaya. Pratyaya means that the meaning of it. So when you say tvam or aham, I, that must be an object for that. That must be something to which it is attributed to. When I say book, book is a sound. If somebody doesn't know English, for them it makes no sense. But the moment you show a book and say it's book, knowledge, language is not important now. He knows that the Vishaya for the book, the Shabda book, is that Pustakam. Understand? So if there is no book, if you cannot show the Pustakam, that sound book has no meaning. Of course, if you know the language, you can imagine a meaning, but even if you imagine it, your book should be exist in your mind. You think of a book, the object comes into your mind. But it comes into your mind or comes it in front of you, the existence of an object is very important. Without an object, Shabda has no meaning. Very important insight here. So Artham means there is a Shabda Prakasham into a Vishaya. And now the Brahman, Shabda Brahman becomes the Artha Brahman. That means it becomes a Srishti. There's an object there. Understand? So the Tvam Padartham here, Aham Padartham, I used to recite this prayer every time. Somebody taught me that Om Aham Padarthaya Shivaya Paramatmane Namaha. Aham Pada Artham is Shivaya Paramatmane Namaha. Aham means Shivam. That means it's TATTVAMSI. So here he says there must be an object. Logically, must agree. Yes. When I say book, there must be a book there. In whichever language you say, kitab, pustakam, whatever language you say, I don't need to know the language. If there is an object represent that, I can connect those. Shabdartha, sambandham, I can connect it. So what is it for aham? You will say, my body? No, you are more matured now. The body is not that. Because the body changes. I have a photo album from my toddling childhood to the teenager on the tree to the married man, the children. So the photos don't represent me. Therefore you say it is my personality identified by my andakarana bodhaga, sambinnaga. Andakarana sambinna bodhaga. Sambinna means intrinsically tied up. Andakarana means my chittam, buddhi, manas, ahankara. The notion of I, the mind, my intellect, my memories, all that together with the bodham, with the awareness of it. That's the best definition I can give. I don't need to know Vedantam for it. Little bit of understanding that I am not the body. Therefore, I can say, you call me who I am this personality of this thing. So that is the Vishaya. Do you understand? So, aham therefore means andakarana sambinna bodhaga. That we call it a jivatvam. It's a jiva bhavam. That is why when somebody scold you, you get hurt because you have the identity, the personality of it. When you are sitting there, somebody calls your name, you turn back because the name is to me. Somebody talks about your attributes, you turn back, it's me, because you associate with them. So this is what it is. This is the artham for the Vakyam or the Padam Aham. So what it is? It is a Vaakyartam. This is same as Shabalao, Shagunam. This is same as, that's why the Sambinnaha tells you it is connected with this, innately connected with this. So it's an attribute. You're thinking before, he's a nice man, he's a nice lady, he's a kind person, beautiful person. All these adjectives we give it to how they appear in both in form and attitude. Therefore, they are the gunas for them. But here we go a little bit closer. Even the Vishaya itself is because Sambinnaha, Shabalau, Vachyartam. They are useful, serves a purpose to identify who I am. But in this pursuit, what is this pursuit? It's a pursuit to perfection, that I want to be, not want to be. I need to realize that I am none other than Parabrahman, Ishvara. So this is the supreme pursuit of human birth. In that pursuit, what you have to give up? You have to give up the Vachyartam. That's what the Bhagavad Padar said in the last class. So here, we must really understand what it is. Now you go to the Tatpadam now. Now Tatpadam is Ishvara. So what is Ishvara? Mayobadir Jagat Yonihi Sarvajñatvadi Lakshanaha Parokshik Sabalak Satyat Atmakas Tatpadadipadah Mayobadir Jagat Yonihi Sarvajñatvadi Lakshanaha Parokshik Sabalak Satyat Atmakas Tatpadadipadah. If you take the last sentence, Tatpada Abhitaha, that is Tatpada Abhitaha. Last time is that Tampada Abhitaha. So that means the meaning of the Tatpadam is Mayobadir Jagat Yonihi. Now he is bringing out, what is he saying now? He is giving now definition by bringing some attributes. Maya Ubadi, who has got a Maya as a part of his adjunct, of his instrument. For us, the body is the Upadhi. Upadhi is a limited adjunct through which you express yourself. So, Maya Ubadi. So, Maya is brought into the picture now. And Jagat Yonihi, who is Jagat Yonihi. Yoni means the Janmasthanam, from which birth happens, the cause of birth. So Jagat Yonihi, the one that produces or creates all the world, is Jagat Yonihi, Jagat Karanam. Who is that? Mayobadihi. That Ishvara, who has got the Maya with him, who is the cause of the universe, is Sarvangatva Adi Lakshanaha, who knows everything. Paroksha Sabalaha. Paroksha means indirectly. Sabalaha, with attributes. It's there with the attributes. What kind of attributes? Maya Ubadiki. But it is Satya Atyatmaka. Satya means eternally. Adhyatmaka, indwelling. He's giving you a lot of words, but it's got very sensible direction for us to take. Ishvaraha is Satya Adhyatmaka. He is eternally existing, indwelling in all. But the Tattvatam, like, when they say, who is Raja, then I raise my hand, it's me, showing my personality, myself. What we take as Tat means, when I say God, what do you think of? You think of someone remotely sitting somewhere, in whatever form you think. Gopala Krishna, Ramachandra, Parameshwara, Amba. Whatever form you have created the form and located in a distant place, and the power of the God, Sarvajñatvam, or the kind of, omniscient, omnipotent, all kind of lakshanas you're given to him. But he is the Jagat Karana, and Maya Upadhi. In Gita, Bhagavan says, Daivi Kesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Prapatyante Maya Medam Tarantide, in 7th chapter. Daivi Kesha Mano Gunamayi. So, divine gunas, Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratyaya. So, that is my Maya. Who is saying that? Ishvara is saying that. Why he says my Maya? Like my dog, my car, this is mine, because I have control over it. So he is, in the Gita, Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye Prabhatyante Maya Medam Tarandide. I do everything, so you surrender to me. So he's okay, it goes in a different context. But what he means by that is, I have the Maya, which is 3 gunas, with which I create all the worlds. Therefore, I am the Jagat Yonihi, but I am the Maya V. I control the Maya. Now, so what is that? Therefore, we should take the Ishvara as Artham for it. If you take the Vaakyavritti, I don't have Maya to control. Maya's effect on me is avidya, ajnanam. But I don't control ajnanam. Ajnanam controls me. Can you start, like, for example, okay, let me have this ajnanam now. No. You can say, let me have this jnanam now. You can acquire jnanam. Ajnanam breeds jnanam. Ajnanam is the mother of jnanam. Ignorance gives knowledge. Ignorance breeds knowledge. Ignorance is adi. Anadi. Not anandam. Adi means has got a beginning. Anadi means has no beginning. Ignorance is anadi, no beginning. Since when you don't know this particular formula? I don't know. I never come across before. I don't know. Anadi. Okay, now you know it. Yes. When did you start knowing this formula? Just now. So jnanam urpatti happens, anadi ends. So I have no control of my ignorance. Ignorance controls me. I try to escape from this. But Ishvara has got Maya in his control. So how can I be compared with him? And he is Sarvajñan. How can I be compared with him? He is Jagat Karanan. I can't even create a simple thing. I just put together things and I call it I'm a creator. I create nothing. Nothing I can create. So where is his comparison identity? This is why we all get stuck. But this impenetrable hindrance also because of this Maya. For this purpose, of course, we don't know about Maya because we can't know about Maya. But the idea is that the word will have a Vaakyartam and a lakshyartam. When you must always go by the direct meaning, Vaakyartam. If the Vaakyartam does not make sense, when does not make sense? Go back to the example. Lakshmi goes to Balaji, he says, it's going to be 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. She keeps on saying every 5 minutes. Ramesh sitting there get very annoyed. What is he Amma talking this about? It has no meaning. So for him, the Vaakyartam has no meaning. Even for Balaji, Vaakyartam has no meaning. It's only 3:45, 3:50. But she says it's 4 o'clock. That means I dropped the Vaakyartam. 4 o'clock is my timeline to get ready to go to the temple. So we don't need to dwell on the meaning of it, but we have to catch hold of the principle that we give up the Vaakyartam. Therefore, the Vaakyartam of Ishvara is Mayadhari, Mayavi, Jagat Yonihi, Sarvajnan, all pervasive. I am not comparing myself with that Ishvara. So don't ever have a thought TATTVAMSI makes you equal to Lord Muruga in the temple. No. Because Lord Muruga there is with an attribute of this thing, then you think you see him like that, and you are not like that. So we cannot understand. That's the reason why many are afraid to take Advaita, because they can't really give up the Vaakyartam. Giving up Vaakyartam is not easy. Giving up Vaakyartam requires understanding of the context of the conversation. Our memory is very short. You know why our memory is short? Either because the wonderful gift of presence that we have, the present time, we squander them because every time you either think of something that has happened before or something going to happen in the next few minutes. You never live in the present. Even now you're thinking of what comes next. Always our mind is 5 minutes ahead of your living or many years behind your living. So that's why we don't have complete living, because we are driven by the thoughts that don't fix you in the presence of it. That's a different conversation altogether. So here the Vaakyartam to be given. But what is this Maya? Maya is incomprehensible. That's it. Anirvachaniyam. Maya sa Maya. That's the definition if you want to go. Yama sa Maya. Ya, whichever. Ma sa Maya. Whichever that you cannot explain, which does not exist, is Maya. Anirvachaniyam. Are there many things like that? Of course, there are many things like that. Simple things like that. I eat this one, though this tastes like sugar, but with a bit of a lime to it. Okay. I try to explain it. Can you experience it? No. I have to eat it. No way. I can't explain it. But many things in life we can't explain. Maya is one thing. And Maya is miraculous. It mystifies scientific understanding or rational thinking. How does it do it? Very simply, it hides real and then show unreal as real. The moment you see unreal as real, your search, your knowledge base is in a wrong domain. So whatever you derive is mystifying, not real. That's why science can never solve the problem which is real, but also solve the problem that which sees it real. So the problems we create in life is what we create. Every object we create, I create a washing machine, and there's the problem of washing machine going into faulty mode. My Srishti creates the problem. I need to find a way to fix it. In every creation I have in this world, with using the natural abilities, I have to have solutions. My science will always drive towards that. The moment you stop creating your Jiva Srishti, then Jagat Srishti is there. You are there to enjoy. But we stop enjoying it. We start creating our own thing. I'm not saying, therefore saying don't do anything, but I'm saying even you do anything, you do with submission and humility that who am I to create? I'm here to enjoy. When you start enjoying it, then it'll be a very different light you see. That is miraculous. And Maya's power is limitless. How do you explain this? Can't explain. Infinite. Whatever you think, it's beyond that. And Maya is intranscendable. That means you cannot cross this. Bhagavan says in Gita, you cannot cross this. It is why it is cannot transit. What is Maya? Maya's many fabrics. Some we know. What is this? Time. Time is Maya. Time is Maya. How do you say that? I can define time. It is in my clock. Yeah, just find out what's the time in your relative in India right now. It's different. What is about the astronauts going up in the moon? Different. Why is that different? Why can't they define one time? No, anirvachaniyam. It is, you can take for your convenience what it is. Space. What is space? Space is what exists between two gap between two things. Where is it? Show me. Well, I can't show you. You are in the space. Well, I'm not in the space. Yes, you are in the space. I can't show you. I can't define it, but you have to abstractly understand that is space. The container is space. So you struggle to define space and time. And wherever you try to find the definition to end, it transcends it. If time and space is not there, velocity, acceleration cannot be there. Distance cannot be there. Speed cannot be there. Forms cannot be there. If forms cannot be there, object cannot be there. If objects is not there, gunas there is. There's no gunas. So kala, dvesha, guna, vishesham, everything is part of it gone without Maya. So can you ever transcend the time? Transcend the space? The answer is no. If you're very careful and you are listening intently, you may say, well, when I go to deep sleep, I don't have the space. I don't have the time. I don't have gender, sex, disease, nothing. Well, where are you there? I am in the complete ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is Maya's lap. So you are in Maya's lap. The dark blanket she covers you out of compassion to take some rest from this enactment of drama in this world. Take some rest. And she let you go. So if you want to transcend space and time also, you cannot do that, but Maya can give you that. That means it is omnipresent, omnipotent. If it is omnipresent means it is everywhere, even with Ishvara. Yes. That's why sometimes you mistaken Maya for Ishvara and Ishvara for Maya, because you say, oh, I got this tragic loss. Oh God, why have you made this loss to me? You blame the God. But this loss happened because of, actually there's no loss happen. But you think there is a loss happen. Because you believe that what you lost is something that belonged to you, where you don't even know who you really are. Therefore, the loss is an apparent loss. That means you are projected an unreality to be a reality to you, a mithyatvam to be satyam. And that is Maya. Therefore, the loss is not because of Ishvara, but because of Ishvara's Maya. But we I and Maya interchange, right? My mind is clumsy. I am therefore clumsy. I am deluded. No, you are not deluded. Your mind is deluded. But I mix with this. Same way we mix Ishvara and Maya. But this Maya is what? Maya is Ishvara's power. The first Maya is Shakti. Don't I worship Shakti? Of course you worship Shakti. Won't I therefore say Shakti is Shiva? Shakti is Ishvara? Yes, of course you can say. But if you see that, then you already come to the TATTVAMSI, Padartha understanding. Because now this Shabala, the Shaguna Upasana, the Shaguna Brahman, the exhibited powers, that becomes you. This Maya is ordained to be subordinate only to the Ishvara. That's why it's called Ishvara's Maya. That's why is it ordained? Does it mean that Shakti is somehow, Maya Shakti somehow, they call Maya or Shakti or Devi, all same. Ishvara, Jagat, we saw that Jagat Yonihi. Yonihi is also a feminine gender. So Jagat Yonihi is basically Ambal is the Jagat Karni. But it is said in the context of Ishvara's Tatpadartham. That means Ambal is seen as the Artha Vilasam of the Shabda Ishvara. So Jagat Karani is therefore the Maya Shakti Ishvari. Some religions, some Vedantis, not Advaitis, think that Brahman only transformed itself into the world and remained distinct from it. It's a Brahman is a karma. We don't think like that. If it is transformed into the world, then Brahma has to go through the mutation, transformation. Transmutation is a vikaram. So it doesn't reason very well. So therefore, the creation of the world is the power of Ishvara projecting itself as this. It's one very beautiful, I forgot this slogan right now. The Mahatma says, Amba, look at Ishvara. Ishvara is Nagnan, is completely nirvana. So Amba is so got lajja. She got so shy of Ishvara. Ishvara, her pati. Dharmapatni saw the Purusha in her complete beauty. She got so shy and she decorated him with the universe. What a beautiful imagination. That means The whole universe was created as dressing up this Brahman. Therefore, the whole universe is the attribute of this Brahman, who is Nagnan, who is Paramanirvanaga, Nirgunaga, Nirvikaraga. So, therefore, Ishvara is not the Jagat Jonihi. So, Maya Shakti is Jagat Jonihi. He is a Maya Dhari. He controls the Maya. Same way, what controls you? Well, I just said those words out of haste. Who gave the haste? My agitating mind. So you were driven by the mind. Yeah, sadly, yes. Every time I say, it is my mind that drives me. So, mind is a Shakti. Mind is the Maya Shakti in me. The mind is what, for I need the mind. So, Mano Nasam in Vedanta is not you destroy the mind. You can't destroy the mind. The mind becomes Brahma Shakti, then the mind becomes one with the Brahman. Like the singing power becomes one with the singer when he doesn't sing. You know Bala Murali Krishna, great singer. When he's not singing, you still call him, oh, he's a singer. Hey, he's not singing, but he can sing. So Ishvara is Jagat Karana. No, he is Nischalam. He is Achalam. He is Lingam. No, he creates the world when the Brahma Shakti is exposed. So that's how it is. So we have to understand Maya Upadhi, having given up this adjunct Maya, who is the Jagat Yonihi, the cause of the universe, who is also described as Sarvagyan, etc., and indirectly known as Paroksha Sabalaha, means Vaakyartam. But he is Satyadi Atmaka. That is the direct meaning of Tat Padartham. Now we know the Tvam Padartham, Vaakyartam, direct meaning. We know Tat Padartham, direct meaning. What is direct meaning? Vaakyartam. What we should do with Vaakyartam? Drop it. When to drop it? Not when you are doing a Vyavaharika world. There you must hold it and pray to God. But when you are in a Nididhyasanam, when you are contemplating the true nature of yourself, you drop it. Therefore, then you will choose your lakshyarta. What is the pramanam for it? So that one, he comes in the 46th. I finished with this one. Pratyak parokshaitakasya sat vidiyatva purnata vrudyade yatastasmat lakshana sampravartate. Here he is giving a general guidance and rule. Whenever you take the direct meaning, pratyaksha means, aksha means eye or senses, prat means in front. Pratyaksha means what in front of your eyes. In other words, what is perceptible directly, direct meaning. So now if you look at it, I got something direct meaning. Parokshada, something on a far away. I am here, pratyaksham. Ishvara, whenever I think of Ishvara, I don't think of within me, I think of somewhere in an esoteric place or in Tirupati or Kailash, Mount Kailash, distant place. So I have the pratyaksham and paroksham. And I see that satvidiyatvam. Satvidiyatvam means many. Like I think I am here, you think you are there, he thinks he is there. There's a humankind, there's a men, there's women, there is sheep, there are horses, the elephant. There are so many jiva bhavam. There are many jivas are there. So when I am taking TATTVAMSI, which jiva I am going to equate to Ishvara? That side, Ishvara is Purnataha. Purnata means it's all pervading, complete. See, so therefore, when you have difficulties because you have one end, you have something very clear, other end is very remote, one is many, one is complete. But if you somehow make it all one, ekasya vrityate, when you try to make it one, vrityate means there is a contradiction comes in. As one Acharya said, like I can say 8 equals 8, correct? 7 equals 7. Yeah, what are you talking? Don't need to say it. Okay, I say 7 equals 4 plus 3. Well, now you're putting an equation. Yes, but look at 7, the form. Look at 4 plus 3. Look at the form. I look at these forms, they are completely different. How the hell you can say they are equal? No way. But then you say, no, form is immaterial. Form is not needed. What is needed is the derived, implied, indirect meaning. Therefore, whenever there's a contradiction comes in, x equal y, x is different, y is different, but conditions x and y can be the same. That is the condition you're looking at it. So on that, lakshana sampravartate. Lakshanartham should be sampravartate. You must take it. So he is giving you an authority that wherever you find contradiction in understanding your true nature is one with the Ishvara, you are dwelling with the Vaakyarta, and the pramanam is when the Vaakyarta give contradiction, you can't just skip it and go to the lakshyarta. No? It's 4 o'clock. This time Lakshmi may be saying truly for 4 o'clock to come and have a coffee. You can't take it to go to the temple because you don't like coffee, you want to go out to the temple. So you can't choose lakshyarta because of convenience, but you lakshyarta because there's a contradiction to the intended meaning, which is uniformly one. That's what the prayojanam of this one. So to be honest, I mean, the TATTVAMSI Vaakyavritti has completed right now. But Bhagavan takes it a little bit more to clarify that how this taking one meaning for the other is legitimate in Vyakarna and legitimate in the Vedanta Vyakyanas. And then he gives some prayojanam and some sadhanas, how to do it. So that we finish in the, maybe we need 2 or 3 classes to finish up this one. So we stop it now. Om Asadoma Sadgamaya.
Om Asato Ma
Sadgamaya,
Sadgamaya
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya,
Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya.
Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya,
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti
Harihi
Shanti,
Om Tatsate.
Hari Om Tat Sate. Thank you, Raja.
Brahmarpanamastu.